What's up guys, this is Ray and today we'll be talking about the 2014 Japanese movie Kiki's Delivery Service, directed by Shimizu Takashi and starring Koshiba Fuka. And yeah, that is Shimizu Takashi, the same director of Ju-On: The Grudge. But before we dive into this review, if you guys are new to Eiga-Man Ray, I upload reviews and discussions of Japanese movies every chance that I get, so if you're new to the channel and you did the content, feel free to support this channel by checking out other videos featured here and also by subscribing. So let's talk about the movie, Kiki's Delivery Service. Now keep in mind, this isn't a review of the anime movie which came out in 1989, directed by Studio Ghibli's Miyazaki Hayao. That was a masterpiece and it should be watched if you haven't seen it yet. But no, this is a review of the live action version, which came out in 2014. Both works, however, are adaptations of a novel which came out in 1985 originally. Now, admittedly, I haven't read the original novel, so I'm not sure whether it's the anime movie or the live action that follows more closely to what happened in the novel, but I will tell you that the Ghibli version is by far a way better movie. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about the story of Kiki's Delivery Service, especially if you haven't seen the anime movie already. I mean, more or less, it follows the same basic plot. It's about this young girl named Kiki, and before she's fully ordained to be a witch, she has to take a year training away from home to do an apprenticeship of sorts. And the kind of apprenticeship she decides to do is in this port city of Koriko, where she decides to form her own delivery service, as you can tell by the title, in which she delivers parcels from different townspeople. However, Kiki is met with hostility from the locals because they don't exactly know what a witch is. They think witches will bring nothing but curses and misfortune onto them. So yeah, so she has to do what she can to build up the townspeople's trust, because she has decided, yeah, she's going to be living and working here for a year. So let's talk about the positives of the live action of Kiki's Delivery Service. There aren't that many. I mean, I'd say if anything, I do think the performance of the lead actress, Koshiba Fuka, was all right. I think, this was definitely very early in her career when she made this movie. I think since then she's done more TV drama appearances, not so many movie appearances, not that I've seen. I think she did all right for something that's really early in her career. She had a very spunky kind of Kiki, something that I don't exactly remember the anime version having, so it's nice to see that kind of difference. And I do like the set design, although the set design kind of gets me weirded out because it seems like it's set in some kind of European kind of place. You can tell with the architecture, just the colors, that it's supposed to be something European. However, it's populated by mostly Japanese people, so you get kind of, it just gets kind of weird. What else do I like about the movie? I mean, I like a lot of the supporting cast, maybe not in this movie, but I do like a lot of the cast members who come out as supporting characters, like Asano Tadanobu, Miyazawa Rie, Yoshida Yo is also in here, Ono Machiko is also in here. And you even have a pre-scandal Arai Hirofumi here. But yeah, when it comes to the positives of Kiki's Delivery Service, I want to say that's pretty much it. I mean, there are a few scenes that are genuinely touching, especially if you're watching this movie and you're a 10-year-old girl and you're going through some stuff. And I guess this movie has a lot of scenes to enjoy, but for someone like me who essentially kind of grew up with a Studio Ghibli version, this movie, there was a lot more to be desired. Let's talk about that. When it comes to the negatives of the live action of Kiki's Delivery Service, well, first of all, it isn't the anime movie, but that aside, on its own, the movie, I think the first thing that comes to mind is the bad CG. The CG in this movie does not age well at all, and you can tell immediately upon first seeing Gigi. And whenever Gigi's on screen, I don't know, like, it just doesn't work well. And there are other CG animals that this movie tries to utilize. Like you have a hippo that becomes the main center of the final act, the climax of the story. And you know, not just the CG animals, but just CG in general. Like, a lot of the scenes where it shows Kiki flying in the air, it just looks kind of weird. But yeah, let's go back to Gigi. I felt kind of disappointed that he was not really a part of the story. He wasn't really a part of Kiki's journey really at all. All he does is just offer a few words here and there, have a few moments of conversation with Kiki, but for the most part, that's it. I mean, Gigi even disappears from the story for a good, 10 minutes, and you don't even realize, nor do you even care. And I don't know, I think overall this movie doesn't do enough to capture the kind of magic that the animated movie had. This is supposed to be a fantasy story, and I don't feel enough of that fantasy. I don't know. There's just something missing when it comes to that kind of magic that the story originally had. And instead of trying to be magical or fantastical, this movie just becomes outright cheesy. Somewhere throughout in the middle of the story, you meet Yuri, who's like this singer who lost her voice because her sister, who was a witch, had died tragically. And since then, she doesn't want to sing at all. She even refuses to autograph something of Kiki's, who's a fan of her apparently. But anyways, partway through the story, she starts to sing again. She sings trying to guide Kiki through this storm, and it just becomes this really cheesy music video. It totally takes you out of the movie. It just I don't know, it's just really cringeworthy. And it logically doesn't make sense. I mean, she's singing, fighting through some heavy winds, then for some reason her voice is powerful enough to pierce through the winds, but whatever. So overall, what do I have to say about Kiki's Delivery Service? If you watch the anime movie, I think it's fine. You don't have to go out of your way to watch this live action adaptation unless you're like me and you purposely like watching bad movies. I don't want to compare it anymore to the anime movie, but I felt like this version, this live action didn't have as much personality as it should have had. I don't know, maybe I'm the wrong audience. Maybe this movie was meant to be enjoyed by 10-year-old girls, but yeah, for me, yeah, wasn't feeling it at all. But there's something else I kind of laughed at, different from the music video scene I described earlier. You know how Shimizu Takashi is the director, and if you've seen The Grudge, this scene where one of the characters enters the house and they meet Toshio, the little boy, for the first time, and he kind of lets out a sound or meow or something, and he's chilling on top of the staircase. They kind of do a similar scene to that here in Kiki's Delivery Service. I couldn't help but think that was just kind of a shout out to, or a reference to Ju-on. And it just kind of made me giggle. But yeah, going back to Kiki, check this movie out. Really, if you like to check out just bad live action adaptations, But if you've read the book, if you think that this movie follows more closely to the events of what was written in the book, let me know. I'm genuinely curious as to how it actually transpired. Anyways, yes, those are my thoughts on Kiki's Delivery Service. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media channels. And by all means, if you really dig the content, feel free to hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And of course, check out my Patreon page, of which you can find in the description area below. And yeah, that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. And a special thanks to all my patrons over Patreon and supporting me in anything and everything that I do. And for all you guys, I'll catch you all in the next video. Take it easy.